When compared to other protein sources, canola meal is proven to have measurable advantages for dairy cows. But canola's value in dairy rations has historically been underestimated. Brittany Wood is the director of canola utilization for the Canola Council of Canada. She talks about what dairy producers should know about canola meal.
We grow canola primarily for the oil, but that canola meal portion is also really advantageous for feeding livestock, particularly for dairy. Canola meal is quite frequently, as it's exported from Canada, it goes into the top dairy producing states within the United States. And so it's really valued as that preferred protein ingredient for dairy cattle. So the amino acid profile of canola meal really closely matches the amino acid profile of milk. And so it just further provides that support for the dairy cow in producing high quality milk. It also is a good source of bypass protein and many other nutritive components that the cow needs.
She talks about research showing the benefits of using canola meal compared to other protein options.
A lot of that research is done in cows that are in mid-lactation. So what that research repeatedly shows is that the cows fed canola meal as that primary protein source produce more milk, usually about a kg or 2.2 pounds more milk per day. Early lactation cows were fed canola meal as the primary protein source, and those cows produced even more milk than what we would typically see in the trials that are in mid-lactation. There's significant evidence, both through the research that's done and just on-farm use, that cows find canola meal very palatable. Dry matter intake continues to be good, if not increased, when there is canola meal in the diet.
Supply of some feed ingredients has been an issue for dairy producers, which won't be a problem for canola meal.
The production of canola meal is pretty consistent year to year. Processing capacity in Canada is usually done pretty close to capacity, meaning that the volume of canola meal available is pretty consistent year to year. And we see through our trade data very consistent export volumes of canola meal into the United States. We are seeing a lot of investment in announcements for processing capacity to be built in Canada for canola, fueled by a high demand for vegetable oil, including canola. The amount of canola meal that is going to be available for the North American feed industry, for the dairy industry, is going to go up here.
She says the additional capacity should start to come online in the next couple of years. Canola meal is also a sustainably produced dairy cattle feed.
We have done some research to look at methane emissions when cows are fed canola meal. And so we have some findings that are really interesting to support that canola meal fed cows are producing less methane than when fed other protein ingredients, say soybean meal, for example. We're looking at feed additives that are being developed to reduce that methane emission. But canola meal is an interesting idea about how can we take an ingredient that we're already using and consider canola meal as a potential tool to reduce methane output and at the same time to increase milk yield.
For more information, go to Canolamazing.com. Chad Smith reporting.